It's about as informal as we get. I'm waiting on Stace to come through or to get in here. Hmm. Well, she'll be with us in a few minutes, I'm sure. This was really off the cuff. We planned for the gatherings Thursday nights. Um, but this was just completely off the cuff because what we wanted to do was tell everybody. And at first, I thought this should be Patreon only. And I thought, well, everybody should know so they can join up if they want to, or they can be a part of it. But as you can see over here, well, that's not exactly what I had in mind, but I can pop that back up there. This is about ready to launch. And don't get me wrong, I still got some kinks to work out in it because YouTube makes everything so damn difficult in terms of how to do what they want to do, or at least it is to me. I could probably get somebody in here that's like 20 years old and they'd be like, oh, yeah, bam, 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 and it's done. For me, it's like, whatever. Okay. But it's about ready for a launch. And it's kind of like taking the gatherings to a new level. Stacy should be joining us, hopefully, here shortly. Because I kind of caught her off guard and said, hey, you want to go live with me and talk about this? She said, oh, yeah. On my way home. I'll be there in a few minutes. So we're kind of waiting for that to happen. Because she's a big part of this. She really is. But, the gatherings will still, like I said, be on Thursdays. That's going to be some pretty cool stuff, I guess. But everything else will be, this other stuff's going to be on Patreon, which includes videos and a lot of other behind the scenes stuff, plus the one-on-one stuff. That's the big thing, the one-on-one readings and things like that she can do, and the talks, just the hanging out stuff like we're doing here. And we're going to talk about some of the episodes. We're going to talk about some of the things that came about. I guess that is from when I was I'm looking at the channels over here on YouTube when I was setting everything up. It's playing it back now. Like I said, I've got a lot to learn with that stuff. But yeah, we're getting there. Um, but we have conversations with people, and I'm going to ask some of you guys to come in and be a part of those conversations too. If you want to be on video, fine. Or if you just want audio only, that's fine too. Really, all you need is some kind of a computer and a microphone. Laptop's fine, because just about all laptops now have cameras built in them and a little internal microphone. You don't have to have a setup like this. I do that just because, well, I already had it, and I just added to it. That's all I did. So hopefully, excuse me, she'll be in here in just a few minutes, and we can talk a little more about it. But I was looking at setting a launch date for this thing. I wanted to do it this week, but it's obvious to me I've got a lot to learn, and I don't want a lot of issues out of it. And something I'm not really crazy about doing on the Patreon channel. I had the video on the Patreon channel streaming live. Got that figured out. But the problem that I've got with it is I didn't see any place for a chat on there. That chat's pretty important. I mean, a lot of people get involved with that. And I mean, I'm not doing this to be a movie. I want people to be interactive. And that's what the Gatherings Contact is really about, is a whole new level of interaction. Even though I've not got a peep out of the chat room yet. So that's kind of odd. Stacy is the magic. Like I said, I'm just a voice. So I think that interaction is going to be a pretty big deal, especially when people are coming forth and they're saying, that they'd like to try to get a hold of this person or that person, that kind of thing. I think that would really be great. Oh yes, chat from Janine. Thank you. Hi Janine. But I had a conversation with a friend last night, and we had talked about a particular case at great length and kind of gave me new viewpoints on things. Because it's like anything else you do. You do enough of it and you kind of get a little blistered. You get a little worn out. Hey guys. Yeah, Stacy should be here hopefully in the next little bit. And she'll be joining up with us. I don't want to get into too much detail, but we're kind of toying with the idea of this episode, not just for the podcast, but of course for here too, in which we all sit down and we really talk about some things and hash things out. It's centered around a person. And I was just kind of like at wit's end with it. And they suggested, maybe this happened or maybe this happened. And to make a long story short, it kind of rekindled my interest in exactly what did happen with this person and how did it happen? And is it possible that we got it completely wrong from a different point of, because we were looking at the wrong thing the whole time? I wish I could put into words, and normally if I sat down and thought about it and scripted it out, I could do it. But it's something that's going to be privy to the Gatherings Contact only. All the videos that we do, and we started shooting on a particular subject today. People that are on the Patreon stuff is going to get it first. Every day I sit and I talk to God. Now, do I hear him back in here? Because if I ever heard him back up here, I'd probably go check myself into an asylum somewhere. But I do hear him. And he gave me this idea about how to start what I want to do, the visual images. And I just thought, wow, never thought about that like that before. So it's going to be something really cool. It's going to be something that's really jumping up there. So contact, I'm hoping to start. I'd love to start it this week. I don't know if I'm going to. But it is going to start this month. And we're looking at Monday evenings, which Mondays suck, I know, especially if you work for a living. But I don't want them to be necessarily back to back. But by the same token, we also thought about doing like a little pre-show thing for the gatherings, or a post or an after party, something like that, if you want to call it. Probably be a pre-show, because I just think that would be pretty cool to let people in on what's going on with the show, what's going on with, I described it as having a small fan base, and it is, but it's a loyal fan base. So I want to give people something worth having, something worth watching, something that they want to watch. And let me see if I can find out where she at or what time she'll be there. Okay. She is on her way. So we'll just kind of wait it out for a little bit to see some of that. Let me see if I can do something right here. And I kind of like to give screen share window entire session. Okay. No, it's not what I'm looking. Windows. Okay, well, what I was wanting to do, and maybe I can do it like this, is go ahead and share what we've got done for the gatherings contact with you. So you can kind of see that yourself. That's not what I want. Local video. So let's see. Yeah, I guess it probably wouldn't hurt if I went ahead and did a mix down on that real quick. So export. You're actually getting ready to see what the opening is going to kind of roughly look like for contact. And it shouldn't take it but a few seconds. Yeah, it's already jumping and going like crazy with that. So that's good. And it'll give you an idea of kind of what we're going to be doing with that. And you can see for yourself. Because I definitely think that it's going to be, if you're following the gatherings, it'll be worth it, because you're going to get you're going to get everything behind the scene. You'll even be a part of the conversation between Stacy and I about where we're going to go next and what we're going to do. Because after all, I kind of think that this show belongs to you guys. So it's just about mixed down. Patience is a virtue. It's a virtue that I don't have. Anxiety always gets the better of me, I guess. So I hope that you guys have had a pretty good Sunday, pretty relaxing. Sorry that this isn't more thrilling and exciting, but like I said, this is all just completely off the cuff. It's like people getting together and hanging out. That's exactly what this is. Do I want to save that? Yes, I do. Okay, so let's go back here. There we go. All right, so here we go. This will give you an idea, I think, of, contact opening, of what we're looking at. So let's check it out, shall we? Let me get it loaded up there. And it's going to be right down here. Turn it up just a smidge for you. And here we go. Welcome to a world of questions, a world of curiosity and hope. It's a real world where things aren't always what they seem. Over the next little while, we will attempt to help heal, give hope, and make contact with the people that we miss and love. We invite you to join us. There is more to this life than anyone realizes. Using scientific tools, faith, and hope, we will reach out to those that we've lost and still love, while always realizing that this life continues well after we are gone from this existence. While this is for entertainment purposes, it's very real. These are the Gatherings Contact. So that's kind of the idea that we had for that, or that I had for that. Yeah, Barry, we've got you. And well, like I said, when I first started this thing out this evening, I thought, well, this will be Patreon people. Then I thought, I think everybody needs to see it. That way they can kind of get an idea of what's going on. It's going to be the Gatherings on steroids, if that's how you want to describe it, if that's how you want to put it. It's going to be a whole lot more devout attention to individuals, because there's at any number of time, or at any given time in the gatherings, we can have 20, 30, 40, 70, 80. We can have a lot of people in there watching, a lot of which don't participate in chat, but the ones that do, I want to have that chat available. And that's why I said I'm probably just going to stick it on YouTube as an unpublished video, which means private access. You can only get it if you have the link. So how do you get the link? You've got to be a Patreon member. If you look at your Patreon account, it should notify you. It should notify you on your Patreon account when you get a message, like a personal message. And all I do is I just put, hey, this thing's coming on at whatever, and it's going to be a set time. But you'll get the link about 30 minutes before it comes on, or 15 or something like that. You click the link, it takes you straight to it. Nobody else can see it but Patreon. But you got to be Patreon to get into it and to have the link. But by doing it on YouTube, it gives us a chat, because the incredibly brilliant, intelligent people at Patreon, I guess, figured, well, hell, they don't need a chat. Well, for live streaming videos, it probably helps. So I want the chat. So we're going to do it on YouTube. So yeah, when I first started it out like that, it was on that link I was telling you about on YouTube. And then I thought, everybody needs to see it. So I added Facebook. So that may have been why some of you were having problems, because this is not going to be like just the gatherings on Thursday night. It's going to be a little different. And I'm not sure where Stace is at. She may not be able to make it in time. If not, then we will come back on. And because I really want to talk to her with you guys about this and kind of see what everybody's thinking about it. Somebody had messaged me a few minutes ago about the link so they can look at Patreon, and I'll put that in the chat right now. So there that is. Okay. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's not for kids, and it's not for, it's like I said, it's the gatherings on steroids. I don't know what you're going to hear, but I can tell you that when the gathering, or when the contact program starts, that little spirit box that Stace has got, or the tools that she's got, spirit box, Ovulus, whatever they're called, they're going to be going, and they're going to be going heavy. And the big difference is that we are going to be focusing not just on whoever can come through, but on individuals. So if you come to me and say, I'd like to make contact with I'd like to try to get a hold of my mom, my dad, my family or friend or something, that's what we're going to try to do. And then we're also, like I said, there's people out there, and I made a post on Facebook earlier about, it's a patio and an in-studio day. And I was out back on the patio earlier, and I was thinking, there is an awful lot of hurt in this world. And there's an awful lot of, it's a mess. So we can't fix it all. But if we can reach out and try to help some people, that would be a big deal. Hi, Brooke. See that Sheila made it in there. And, of course, our boy Barry, all kinds of people filing in. That's great, too. And like I said, we are rating waiting on the arrival of Stacy. She's not late. She's not at all. I threw this out there to her at the last second, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, I'd love to." So we're kind of waiting on her to get here. So when she gets in here, we're going to talk about this, and she and I are actually going to talk about something different. Um, Something that, like I said last night, I was talking to a friend, and we kind of had this thing that was, you do something long enough, you're at wit's end. You're just done. But she helped me to see a perspective on it when I was talking to her, and I said, "Oh, okay." So I'm going to talk to Stace about it too, and we may do some of that right here in front of you, and have like a discussion on it. And like I said, if I have to duck off here for a little bit, I'll leave the stream running, and when she gets here, that's what we'll do. So if you guys want to keep the stream running in your background, that's fine. And I'm going to wait. We can wait on Stacy to get here, and we'll just come back on. Okay. So in the meantime, go ahead and get you something to drink. She should be here in just a few minutes. She was out with some people close to her, and we'll come right back. We'll be back on here in just a few seconds, and we will just kind of go from there, and we'll start talking about stuff. Okay. Okay, so I just heard from Stace. She's about 15 minutes out. So instead of keeping this thing rolling, unless you guys just want to chat, come back in about 15 or 20 minutes. And we'll say 20 minutes. And we will be right back on here with the real deal with all of us together the way it should be. But like I said, this isn't her fault. I just kind of threw this at her literally 5 minutes before I clicked the button. Um, so about 15 or 20 minutes and come back, and we will be right back on all the channels to talk about what's going on and get you guys kind of caught up. 15, 20 minutes. And of course, we'll make links available for the Patreon if you want to be on there, and also tell you some more stuff and show you some more exciting things. Right there, you just saw her in the chat room. She's on her way. So let's say about 15 or 20 minutes. And if you guys will come back and look at it this way, at least you guys got to catch up a little bit on the chat room some. And I got a little bit more done with some stuff that I needed to do. So hopefully I'll see you back here in about 15 minutes, 20, something like that. And